We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Good evening from Cape Town, South Africa, everyone. This is Megan Diaz, and I am one of your hosts on the Women Empowered Across the World podcast. Today, we are going to introduce ourselves and just allow you to learn a little bit more about us. But also, today we are showcasing Carol Witt, our YEA founder and global director. So we'll be interviewing Carol today and just hearing more about her story. But first, let's hear from the rest of our hosts, and they'll introduce themselves to you. Please, Wumi, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wumi Pieces, and I'm happy to be one of the hosts for the Women Empowered program. And I'm just so glad to be here and represent everyone who has a beautiful story and then you're ready to share with us. Thank you.
Awesome. Renata.
Hi everyone, my name is Renata Anderson. I'm originally from Brazil, but live in the US, in Oregon. And I'm so happy to be here to give voice to empower women. So it's beautiful. And I am the founder of Reborn from the Forest and the CEO of the Impactful Women Network at Spirit of the Game. Thank you.
Great to be here with you, Renata. Jackie.
Hi, I'm Jackie Zaccoli, and I'm very delighted that Carol has begun this group because there is such a need for women empowerment all over the world. I represent the Global Impact Network essentially, and that is a composite of nonprofits, one of which is Spirit of the Game, another which is the YEA of Carol, and many others in the whole concept of bringing in self retaining your self sustainability in the world in the underserved populations. Oh, and I'm from Arizona, representing part of the United States.
Wonderful, Jackie. So I am the founder of Paradox Rocks Communications. As I said, my name is Megan, and I am an advocate for global literacy. I love reading. I'm a word nerd, and that is what my passion is in this space. So to get us started, I'm going to ask Carol just to tell us a bit more about her, start telling us what her story is, and let's get into it.
Thank you, everyone. Carol. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Hi, everyone. My name's Carol Witt, and I am the founder and director for Y.E.A.Global, and it stands for Young Entrepreneurs Alliance. Now, the young does not mean young in age. It means young in spirit, guys. So my story starts here. When I was very young, I was a child on the streets. I ran away from home at 9 years old. I come from a battered background, and I started running away at 9 and going to my friends' houses, and my parents didn't know where I was, and I was the youngest juvenile in juvenile detention. And so one of the things that happened for me is I wanted to champion people's spirits, champion their energy, and I wanted to really work with young people because I knew that if somebody hadn't really taken me under their wing, I probably would have gone in a really rough direction. And I had some friends that went off in different directions, prison and early death, suicide, and things like that. So I knew I wanted a purpose in life. So, guys, I didn't really honestly find that purpose until I was 39. I did what you call the Landmark Forum, and I found my purpose. And my purpose is that I wanted to make a difference for many, many people. And so I was in a course called Creativity in Landmark. It's a seminar, and we got to create projects in there, and projects that would make a difference but would stretch us. And so I created Y.E.A. in there. Young Entrepreneurs Alliance. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years, guys. I have a master's in clinical psychology, and I was a short-term counselor, crisis counselor, and I hated life. So I gained a lot of weight, over 100 pounds. And guys, I'm small, and that was really rough for me. So I hated life. And so I took a sabbatical, and I went and I worked out and I lost 100 pounds in 7 months. And I fell in love with with personal training, because I got a personal trainer. And I said, this is what I want to do. So I went and got my license as a licensed personal fitness trainer, and started building my own business. Now, fast forward, guys, I run 4 businesses, and I love being an entrepreneur. I get to create my own schedule. I get to create my life. I do not have to go to a 9-to-5 job. I do not have to answer to somebody else. So I am thrilled to say that I love my life as an entrepreneur. But I will tell you, about 4 years ago, well, actually, so once I said I'm going to do Y.E.A., I created this program. It looked very, very different, and I went ahead and set it up and made it happen. And for 4 years, I taught real estate investing as a way to create businesses, thriving businesses, and create a thriving economy. So fast forward, I wanted to go online. And so I reached out to a forum leader that's a really good friend of mine. And I said, I want to revamp my whole program. And he said, well, Carol, he said, you're an entrepreneur. You should be teaching entrepreneurism. And I said, oh my gosh. And so 2019, we went online and I started teaching entrepreneurism. Now, the course I teach now looks nothing like the one I started out with in 2019. We have evolved to such a degree. I wrote a book in 2020, and that is now my course. And I love delivering this course to people. So one of the things that I love is this, guys. I truly do believe that mindset is the biggest deal in our lives. And I have seen in my life in so many different directions that if my mindset is thriving and positive and going in that direction, I produce amazing results. If my mindset is, Carol, what are you thinking? You can't do that. This is too big for you. You're crazy. I get nothing done. And when I saw that in my own life, I said, oh, I want to write a book about it. And when I wrote the book, and the book is called You've Got One Life, Love It, The 7 Pillars for Thriving Now, I said, this is my course. And so in the end of 2020, I started delivering this course. And guys, I've delivered to over 1,000 students in Africa. Amazing. Over 1,000 students to the US, to North America. And many students in the youth empowerment program now. So I found my purpose. I have so found my purpose. And that is that every person deserves to thrive. We
Wonderful.
don't have to struggle and survive life. That is settling. And I do not believe any one of us have to settle in life. So that is what moves me forward and keeps me building toward the next course and the next course. And now we offer 2 courses a year, the spring course and the fall course. And we're about to open the October fall course on October 17th. And we have 102 brand new registrations
Awesome.
And I want to thank my host here because you've invited people. You have all invited people. And guys, it's not me. It's not me that's bringing people into YEA. It's everybody that's done YEA out there shouting it out to their friends and their neighbors and their communities. And that is why we're global. So I want to share one more story with you. And that story is this. One of my pillars is called declaration. Declare it and make it so. And in declaring 4 years ago in my North America program, I declared I wanted to go global. Guys, my knees shook when I said it because I had no clue how that was going to ever happen. And then my head coach in the North America program, he said, Carol, I'm going to Africa. I said, Keith, find me entrepreneurs over there. And he did. And now we are in 37 countries in Africa. So the power of you declaring things, telling everybody what you want in your life is a magical power. And I share that with my students. It's one of the pillars. And they get access to being able to declare to anybody and everybody that will listen to what they want in their lives. Because here's the thing, guys. I could be sitting right next to Megan. And if I don't tell her that I want this in my life, she may have the perfect resource for me, the perfect connection for me, the perfect way for me to move forward in what I'm up to. But if I don't share it with other people, with Megan, she can't say, Carol, I've got the perfect resource for you. And that's what Y.E.A. is all about, is that we champion entrepreneurial spirits, and they're special. And we champion youth who are our future leaders for tomorrow. And we champion women who are so, so special and so excited to be able to make a difference in whatever they take on in their lives. They're so excited to make a difference. And so I'm thrilled to be a guest on this podcast and have this be something that women can be inspired by, empowered by, and move them into action in their lives and creating their own powerful, empowering, inspiring stories. Thank you guys for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Carol. I just want to find out from you. So you mentioned that you run 4 businesses, and I've been in some of your meetings, and I see you quite often. But what does Carol do in her spare time? Is there any spare time, and what do you enjoy doing on your days off, your time off?
Wow. Okay. All right. So one of the things I do, I asked myself a question about a year ago. Carol, how can you add more fulfillment to your life? And guys, I'm on Zoom a lot. All my businesses are all online. So I'm online a lot and I don't get out as much. And so I live on a nature preserve. My backyard's a nature preserve. So I made a promise to myself. I declared that I was going to go out and sit for 30 minutes every day in my backyard and enjoy nature and connect back to nature. And so that's one of the things I do. And it has really given me more fulfillment in my life.
Oh, for sure. That's amazing. I can definitely relate to that. I've got a beautiful garden that my husband tends. I just water it. If I do anything more than that in a garden, I kill everything in sight. So I just do the occasional watering. But I've got a beautiful garden that my husband set up for me outside, and that's my happy space. If I can't take time out to run to the beach, I go to my garden. It's grounding, right? It's powerful. Absolutely. Ladies, join the conversation. Jump in with your questions.
So I thank you, Carol, for sharing your story. So I want to ask, as a businesswoman, especially knowing your background, how did you manage the no's that came with collaborating with people or sharing your story? Those, who didn't really give you an answer. So how did you manage that?
Okay, so for me, Umi, no isn't personal. I don't take it in a personal way. What I take it is that I did not enroll them in what I was up to. Okay, so I look at how I can be responsible for it, and I go, okay, I didn't inspire them enough. I did enroll them in what I wanted them to see. And so I just look to see how I can have another conversation. And guys, I've had many no's, many no's in my life, and I just go back and have new conversations, and then they become yeses.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
asking that question. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Renata.
Oh, Carol, it's so good to hear you. It's a beautiful story, very inspiring. And my question is, how do you see yourself in your vision? So in the future, so what are you going to deliver to yourself from the future?
Ooh, okay. All right. So thank you. That beautiful questions, guys. Wow. Okay. So one of the things that I am doing is I do know that you only have so much time on this planet. I just turned 70 years old, guys, in July 25th. So I am planning a future. And what I am doing is I have created YEA country directors for different countries that they can take YEA into their country and in their own language, their own time zone. And I have 12 of them that I am training. I've been training them for 6 months now. And they are going to have the future of YEA in their hands. So yes, I want YEA to have a future, and it only has a short future with me. So I'm putting it in the hands of young people that have many, many years on this planet that will be able to share it with many, many people. What I want is I want people knowing they can thrive, that they deserve to thrive. I want that to be a household, a knowing in every household.
Awesome. That's so future orientated. That's so well thought out and so well planned. And I know that just having gotten into the YEA space myself, that there's already that movement towards what are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing next week? What's next year bringing? I love that feeling of people that's constantly just looking ahead. So well done on that one, Carol. And then Jackie, do you want to step in here?
Well, I was just, my thought for Carol was I was curious what all the 4 businesses were.
Oh, sure. Okay. So I run a social media agency, and I have, before COVID, I had 21 clients. Now, after COVID, I had 7 when COVID hit. And now we're back up to 14 clients. And I have 3 people that contract for me. And so that's one of my businesses. And that is why I'm everywhere on social media, guys, because I've been really, really concentrating on social media. I started my agency in 2012. Okay. And it's an interesting story. Somebody said, Carol, you're giving all of this away. You need to start a social media agency. And I did. So that's one of my businesses. The second business is I was doing web design. So I had 5 businesses. I was doing web design, and I just retired from it in January of this year. And now I'm training some other people to take it on, because I still have customers that come to me and say, can you create a website for me? Can you do this? Can you? So I want to be able, and I'm training some people in Africa to be able to do landing pages and 1-page websites and things like that. So I can send my customers to them. So that's one of the things I'm doing, was doing. So the second job that I have, second business that I have is I do a health and wellness business, and it's called Avini Health. And it really made a difference for me when I had surgery. I had skin cancer a year ago, January, and I was in a rough place. 2 surgeries, because they didn't get it all the first time, and I was in a really rough place, and those products really helped me amazingly. So I can't not share that with people.
Yeah.
And then I have my consulting business. I do consulting for web design, for social media directors, in-house social media directors. Yeah, and then Y.E.A. And Y.E.A., guys, it is a business, and I do have a nonprofit side to it. So those are what I do.
Awesome. I want to find out something from you. So
Yes.
you've given us quite a nice walk through your life story, but tell us something that you don't often share with people. Tell us something unexpected about yourself.
Okay. Okay, so I had a huge loss in my life back in 2019. I was engaged, and we were out celebrating something very big for him. His company was just got a proposal that was going to make him a millionaire. And so we went out and celebrated, and we ate raw oysters, and he died in 4 days from a flesh-eating bacteria called Vibrio vonificus. And guys, we had a whole life planned. We were going to, he was a master sailor, and he has a huge 52-foot CNC sailboat, beautiful boat. And we were going to sail and get married in the Caribbean. And then but for a whole year we were going to sail. That was his big dream, and I said I would do that with him. And in 4 days my life changed like that. So remember what I said, that I say to people, life gives you what life gives you, and your quality of life is how you dance with it. And I did not dance very well with that loss. I took myself out of life for almost a year. So I did not dance well with it. I really struggled with it, and I really went to the dark side for myself. And I will tell you this, if I had done that life, I don't know that I would have this life.
Exactly.
So you really want to look to see how life shows up. Yes. Because I couldn't have told you that would have happened to me. It happened so quickly and so disruptively in my life. And yet, after the year of taking time off, I was able to pull myself back together. And I had many, many people supporting me, taking me and walking me on the beach, and just letting me cry and get it out and be with me, just be with me in my grief. And then life came back, and then it took me in another direction. So it was kind of like the rug being pulled out from under your feet. You had this whole life that you got planned, and then it's gone in 4 days. So yes, and he was the love of my life, and he's irreplaceable. So I do not go in that direction any longer. I don't date. I don't do those. That's not where I'm putting my energies now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol, that's a terrible, terrible experience to have to go through. And I'm so sorry you've gone through it. And, like you say, life throws things at you, and you dance to it in any which way. I'm supporting a very, very good friend of mine through exactly the same. She's just lost her fiance in the last few weeks. So yes, it's a tough road, but I'm extremely pleased that you have had all the support you had, and that you got through it the way you did. and ended up being here with life bringing you our way, right? And we're sitting here today, and I think just the empowerment aspect of having gone through something like that and come out on the other side, it's massive.
Thank you.
Massive.
Thank you. And guys, I love my life. I love what's been created. I really and truly say that I live a declared life, because everything that's in my life, I've declared it.
Right.
So I live a declared life, and I live a life that I love. And I don't know what my life would look like the other way. It's kind of like you had a fork in the road, and I had to go
Yes.
another direction. But I'm thrilled for the life that I have.
Well done. Well done. I just want to check in with any of our other hosts. We are, can you believe, almost ready to round off the evening after
No.
the morning of chatting. In my world, it's evening. Most of you, you've got your morning starting. But anyone else just want to throw in their last question or comment and get Carol to share a little bit more before we round this off?
Oh yes, Carol, it's amazing how you were strengthened and encouraged, and you come up better, right? And I think that's one thing I'm taking away from everything you said. You shared with us your strengths, and then looking within to find the positivity of whatever happened to you negatively, right? You've spoken about collaboration. You've spoken about having right people around you, right? The right community, because they were able to strengthen you. They were able to encourage you, took you out on the beach. And I really, really want to say thank you to everyone who did that for you. And then of course, for every one of us or everyone who's going to become a guest, or become, or whatever you are or you're going through, to have right people supporting you, and then to create to look within themselves to get to look within themselves to get something out of whatever situation they find themselves in. And thank you for sharing. I really love that.
Thank you. Thank you, Wumi. And I will just say this, guys. I do not do my life alone. One of the things I really got in Dancing with Life is you go so much further when you have a team, when you take people with you, when you have people that cheer you on. I am not a lone wolf any longer. When I first started as an entrepreneur, I struggled for a whole year because I was a lone wolf, thinking I had to do it all by myself. I don't do that anymore. I have amazing teams on Y.E.A., amazing teams in my social media business, amazing teams that people I can count on, and amazing friends in my lives. Guys, I have friends that are 25 and 30-year friends. I do not lose my friendships. So I nurture my friendships, because absolutely believe our success is measured in your friends, not in what you own, not in your material things, not in the big home, not in a car, in your friends. And so I nurture my friendships. I do not let them die on the vine. And so that is how I derive my success. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Carol. And it was so good having you here as our guest today. Looking forward to the rest of the interviews with our hosting team. And just a reminder to everyone out there, 20th of April, 20th of September is when we air our first episode with an invited guest. And before then, we'll be speaking to the team and getting to know one another better. So go well until next time. Thank you.
Really a wonderful experience being a guest on this podcast, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for those amazing questions, because it had me have to look. So thank you for those amazing questions. And this was an amazing experience. Thank you.
Awesome.
We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one Together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.